We will begin by casting on an amount of stitches that's a multiple of 10. So you can make your blanket as big or as small as you want, just make sure to cast on multiples of 10. I like to use the long tail cast on method, but you can do whichever one you prefer. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 1 times 10. Now again 10. And again as many as you want. And cast on for however long you want, as long as it's multiples of 10. I'm just making a small sample, so I've made 4 multiples of 10. So 4 times 10 on the cast on. Now we are going to begin the outline on the bottom by making 6 rows of garter stitch. So just knitting back and forth, all the rows are going to be just knitting to make a garter stitch. After we've done 6 rows of garter stitch, now we are going to begin the pattern of the blanket. So we begin the row with 5 stitches of garter, so just knitting. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we are going to do groups of 10 stitches until the last 5 stitches. So first 10 knit stitches, then 10 purl stitches, then 10 knit stitches, etc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we switch to purl. 1, 2, 3, 9 and 10. Switch back to knit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, I'm doing just a small example, but if you're gonna have a bigger blanket, then just continue on this way until the last 5 stitches. 10 knit, 10 purl. And then the last 5 we're going to knit for garter stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now for the next 13 rows, we are going to simply begin with 5 knit stitches to make it garter, and then knit the knits and purl the purls. So where we see purl, we purl, where we see knit, we knit. And at the beginning and end of each row, 5 garter stitches. So just knit each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now I have 10 purl stitches, so I just purl those. So continue making these rows, knitting the knits and purling the purls with the 5 garter stitches at the beginning and the end until we have 14 rows all together for the first square. I want to show you how it would look like if you have a bigger blanket. Here's one that I'm working on, and you see I just made these purls, knits, 10 groups of 10 stitches all the way, and this is how it looks when it's a bigger sample. So you could really play around with the size, whatever size you want. So meanwhile, I've already done 2 rows with the pattern, and I'm going to continue on for another 12 rows until I have 14 altogether, and I'll meet you back then. Here I've done already 14 rows altogether for the first square. And let me show you a quick way of how you can count how many rows you have. So beginning from here, the last garter row, we're going to begin counting the knit stitches going up. So these V's over here going up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So we can tell that we have just finished 14 rows. The next row, we are going to purl the knits and knit the purls. So begin again with 5 garter stitch. So just knitting 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now where we see knits, we are going to purl them. So here I have 10 knit stitches. So I do 10 purl stitches. 1, 2, 3, 9, and 10. Now I have 10 purl stitches, so I'm going to knit the purl stitches. 1, 2, 3, 9, and 10. Now again 10 knit stitches, which I'm going to purl. So we're going to continue on this pattern for as long as we want the blanket to be. 1 row of knitting the purls and purling the knits, and then 13 rows of knitting the knits and purling the purls. And of course on each row, 5 garter stitches at the beginning and at the end. So continue doing those steps until your blanket is as long as you want it to be. Once your blanket is as long as you want and you've done as many squares as you would like for your blanket, now we're going to finish off with doing another 6 rows of just garter stitch back and forth, just like we did at the beginning. And now we are going to bind off our work and try to keep it loose so that it should stay nice and stretchy. You could choose whichever kind of bind off you want to do. I like to do this kind where you knit the first 2, then you pull the first one over, the second one, and then you continue that way, knit 1, pull it over, and so on. When you reach the end, just cut off your yarn, pull it through the last loop, and tighten it up. And that's it. Your blanket is all done. And with this gorgeous checkered design and this nice garter border, of course you make it in whatever size you want. And that's how you do it. Simple and easy, and it comes out gorgeous. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you next time. All the best!